Hello, my Facebook people. And by popular request, here's the hat. It's my Glamouflage hat. So I'll wear it for a little bit today. Okay, so today in my Glamouflage hat, I'm going to talk to you about the cause of blocks, why I friggin' hate the word manifesting, and why you should never say, I can't afford it. So we're going to talk a lot about beliefs here, how we create our reality. Not that we create our reality, because pretty much people seem to know that, but how that happens. So first of all, hat off. Let's be serious now. This is going to be a little bit of a rant, okay? Just getting myself ready for that. Okay, so it's been brewing for some time. It's time for a rant. We need to get serious, guys. So, as you know, I work in the spiritual community. I work a lot with spiritual people, and we're all lovely, and we love to share everything, and we love to be grateful, and I hear a lot about that. And then I say, hey, do you want to come to this event? It's really cool. And they say, I'm trying to manifest the money. I need to manifest it. Okay, so let's look at what that word means. So the word manifest, if you look it up in the dictionary, now I forget the exact definition, but it's something like kind of to ping into being. It just materializes. Well, I don't know about you. Like if anyone comes to me and say, you know what, I magically manifested, poof, 10 pounds, there it is. Poof, it just, go do it for me, show me, teach me how. Because here's how I have earned every single penny that is in my life. There has been some kind of value exchange or some kind of compensation for some service delivered, or sometimes sometimes it has been a gift, but it's been a gift because it's from someone who loves me and I love them, and there's still a karmic balance, because a lot of people go, well, I was gifted it. That's great. You were gifted it because somewhere that made them feel really good, but the money does not friggin' manifest. There's an exchange. So if you want to get more gifts, give more. You know what? Give more of yourself and you might get more gifts. It's not the best strategy for creating money, quite frankly. It seems a little bit icky. Much better way. It's cleaner. Have something of value and charge people money for it. It's just clear. It's clean. This word manifesting. So a lot of people say, I'm trying to manifest a new car. I spent 8 years working in the automotive industry. The car industry. That's where my Australian accent comes out. So we talk about cars. I spent a lot of time working in emissions research, actually. And so I was fine. I could get away with it as long as I talked about the motor industry and the automobile industry. But as soon as we talked about emissions, it was carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, everyone would know I'm from Australia, but that's fine. So it's CO2. Anyway, here's the deal with cars. Nobody manifests a car. If you have ever walked the line at the Ford plant, it's miles long. There are people hitting metal to turn it into a car. You don't just kind of pump raw materials in and sit around and, whoo, there's a car manifested. It doesn't work like that. Money doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that in the real world. And we need to get real, okay? So that's my first rant. Just stop using the word manifest. Use the word, or even receive, right? Because anytime you receive anything, there will be, or there will have been some kind of, or there will be in the future or in the past, some kind of value exchange. So you don't just receive me. I'm just waiting to receive. I've had people email me. I'd love to come to your six-figure psychic event, but I just don't receive enough. No, say, I don't earn enough. I don't give enough value. Let's be honest about this. Now, you're going to go, well, Lisa, you're being so rude, saying they don't give enough value. No. I'm not saying they're not valuable people. And I'm not saying that, so what I'm saying is they're not valuing what they give enough to ask for a karmically balanced exchange. Value what you give enough to ask for what it's worth, not what you're worth. We need to separate that out. You don't get paid what you're worth. You get paid what your service is worth. Okay. So if you want to earn more money, deliver a better, more valuable, more desirable service and charge more money for it. And I know people are going to go, whoa, this is crazy. You're supposed to be spiritual. Now, the reason I want to get real about this is because a lot of spiritual people, we had the movie The Secret, which was fantastic. It was great because everyone said, it was all like, when I first came out, I thought, thank goodness someone is, the message is getting out into the mainstream that you're not a victim to your circumstances, that what you have in here in your mind really affects and influences what you create outside in the real world. And yet every single example in that movie was, a Ferrari showing up because it just manifests. Look, I've been to the Ferrari factory. There ain't no friggin' manifest in there. There's people building it, right? Honestly, I think the people at the Ferrari factory would get a little bit peed off if they thought that anyone imagined that that's how cars show up, right? Because there is work and effort involved. There's value exchange. I mean, how much you value a Ferrari is, that's down to you. But I guess that's why, those of you who don't have a Ferrari, you don't exchange your money for a Ferrari. You might exchange it for something else. Anyway, so in the movie The Secret, it was all about, the diamond ring, or I got a tanzanite here. And, the diamond ring, or the new bike, or the new car. And what if we as spiritual people got really good at creating change in the world? What if we got really good at that, at creating stuff, not manifesting, creating stuff in the world? And what if, instead of trying to manifest more money, what if we tried to manifest or create a whole empowered society, world peace, better health, access to better healthcare for the whole population of the earth? What if we manifested or created change in the world to support the whole ecology of the entire planet? What if we started talking like that? And what if part of that journey was you learning how to get really comfortable with money? And that's one of the things we're going to be doing on the How to Be a Six-Figure Psychic and Spiritual Leader live event, 3rd of the 5th of November. I'll pop a link in the comments below if you have any questions. If you're watching this live, if you have any questions about anything I'm saying, or you just want to go, hey, Lisa, you're nuts. But, well, obviously don't say that. I'd rather you didn't say that. Okay. And if you think I'm nuts, then just say why you think we're nuts. So we can have a discussion about that. If you don't necessarily agree with what I'm saying, post and let's share. Let's have a discussion about this. But do think about it first. Just have a little okay, yeah, this manifesting a Ferrari thing, is that really going to create world peace? Am I really, doing this the right way? So, yeah, and if you're listening to the replay, don't worry, I do come back and I will answer your comments there. So let's look at, another phrase that you should never say, and why you should never say it. So the phrase I hear a lot of people say is, I can't afford it. I'd love to do that, but I can't afford it. Now, okay, so 2 things. If you don't want that thing that's being offered, if somebody's saying, do you want a new Ferrari? And then you say, I can't afford it. And if you don't want the Ferrari, just say, you know what? I personally, I would never spend that money. I would never spend that kind of money on a Ferrari. I just would never buy a Ferrari. I drive I think it's I spent a 20-year-old, 21-year-old Land Rover is one of my cars that I drive. And notice I say one of my cars. I got another one. It's a little bit more reliable. I also have a Citroen Bingo. I think it's called a Berlingo, but I call it a Bingo. That's my reliable car. And, I don't have a Ferrari. That's my choice. I would rather not spend the money on a Ferrari, but I don't say I can't afford it. Because if I really wanted a Ferrari, I would find a way, okay? And this is what I want you to think about. So if you want to be at How to Be a Six-Figure Psychic and Spiritual Leader, because you're called, you're self-selecting as a spiritual leader. First of all, one of the things that spiritual leaders do is they lead. They go places where it's not always comfortable. They stretch out of their comfort zone, and they are an example to others. So they don't go around going, I'd love to change the world, but I can't afford it. Can't afford to change the world because I'm too busy thinking about the new car I want. That's not what they do. And they probably don't do it in that voice. That's my DAG voice. So spiritual leaders go, okay, this is what needs happening in the world. This is the change I want to see. So I'm going to start by being it myself, be the change. And then I'm going to start to do whatever it takes to create that change. So if part of your journey to being a spiritual leader is getting back into your total empowerment, then start with saying something other than I can't afford it. Now, here's what to say instead. So if you want to be there, here's what you say instead. Say this. how can I afford it? And you say this to your unconscious mind. Now, the reason you should never say I can't afford it about anything, whether you want it or not, is this. Your unconscious mind is like a sponge for every instruction you give it. So every time you say I can't afford it, your unconscious mind creates not being able to afford it as a reality, right? Do you get that? So every time you say I'm sick, your unconscious mind will go, oh, I can create illness. Ping, there it is. So instead say, I'm becoming healthier every day. My health is improving. Now, this sounds a little bit like affirmations, which isn't quite, and it's not quite the same, because an affirmation must always be a truth right now. And even better than an affirmation, great book, Affirmations, look that up on Amazon. And it's about asking questions. The quality of our lives is very much determined by the quality of the questions we ask. And a lot of people ask questions like, why me? And your unconscious mind will go, whoa, because you're a bloody idiot, you know, or whatever it will say. But if you ask, well, how can I afford it? Your unconscious mind will go, oh, well, you could do this, or maybe this, or what about this as an idea? And your higher self will start bringing down loads and loads of inspiration and presenting opportunities that you can take action for. Listen to that word, taking action, no more manifesting. Right? So the opportunities are already there. They're right here. And you're missing them because you're so busy saying you can't afford it. Well, obviously not you, because you're a lovely, brilliant, and inspired and awake person. But those other people we're talking about, those other people over there, right? Who say that? Right? Those people are too busy saying, I can't afford it, to actually say, how can I afford it, and get the ideas. So stop using the word manifesting and instead use the word create. And use the word, and instead of saying I can't afford it, so ask the question, how can I afford it? Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the cause of blocks. Now, one of the questions we get asked a lot here is like, do I have blocks? Can you tell me if I've got any blocks? And it's not really for me to answer that. And the fact that you're asking that question probably is, maybe you do. Okay, so here's how your reality is created. So your reality is a projection of your consciousness, and it's a projection of the patterning in your unconscious mind. Go back and watch yesterday's Facebook Live if you want to hear about that. So you have your unconscious mind, which has all your patterns, and that creates what you experience consciously. And it creates it based on the beliefs you hold. Hey, Leslie, I'm so glad you're here. This is perfect for you because I know you're coming to the Six-Figure Psychic event. We're going to release these beliefs. So your beliefs. So pay attention to what this is really important for you. Okay. So our reality is created by the beliefs. And so the opposite to what I've just said is that sometimes people go, okay, so the reality is out there and either it's fixed. So people will talk about it like, I can't afford it, as if that's fixed, rather than currently I don't have the money in my possession. And how could I generate that? How could I create that? You know, how can I generate income is such a great question. So either they talk about it as if it's fixed, or they talk about it particularly as if there's nothing they can do about it. But what if it was created by a belief? Now, so our beliefs, our patterning creates our reality. So the question we need to ask is, okay, so if this is what I'm experiencing, what must I believe in order for this reality to be created? Really useful for you, Leslie. What must you believe about yourself or the universe in order for this reality to be created? Now, notice there's no judgment or blame. There's no, oh, I'm a terrible person because I'm thinking all these negative beliefs. That's just like, oh, okay, well, what's going on here? You know, it's like fixing a car. You don't, have any judgment about, well, sometimes you might have judgment about a car. Certainly, I had a little judgment about my car when I was in France, and it broke down quite a lot of times in 2015. That was what prompted me to buy a newer, slightly more reliable car after, yes. Yeah, it turns out no Land Rover components in France. So ask the question, what must I believe about my reality in order for this to be the case? I'm going to give you some examples. And this is really useful because it's like when somebody comes to me and they say, I don't have the money or I can't afford it, I don't then say, oh, that's a limiting belief. What I think is, what must they believe about their universe or themselves in order for them to be creating this as a reality? And so here are some examples of the difference between, say, a reality. Where's my hand going in the screen? There we are. So reality and the belief, okay? So reality, belief. So the reality might be, I don't have the money. And in reality, you know, the money just isn't there. It's not in your bank account. And the limiting decision, as we sometimes call it, or the belief might be, I can't make money. It's hard to make money. The recession is stopping me making money. It might be, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve money. Could be anything like that. So there's the reality caused by a belief, like I can't create money. I can't earn money. Another example is nobody loves me. Well, and like that might be true. There might be no one in your life who you experience as loving you. That doesn't mean that there is nobody in your life. It just means that loves you. It might be that you're just not experiencing that. So it might be, I can't love. I'm not lovable. Or it may be a strategy so it may be that you have no way of knowing when somebody loves you. So you may be surrounded by love, but have no clue. Another one is I don't trust anyone. I don't trust people. So the belief might be people are untrustworthy. It's not okay to trust, or I don't know who to trust and who not to trust. Another one, I'm not fit, or I'm overweight. Now the reality might be that you're overweight, but underneath that might be some limiting belief like I can't lose weight, dieting's hard, or I can't discipline myself, or whatever that belief might be. Another one, great one is I always attract the wrong partner. I'm always with the wrong man or the wrong woman or whatever. And the belief behind that might be around relationships aren't worth working for, or I don't deserve to be with a nice person. I don't deserve somebody who's good enough, or just that you've got poor sensory acuity. So it might be I don't know how to identify the right person. Another one, last one, let's do this last one. Got a little list here, I got loads more, just from my years of working with clients. So another one is sales are hard, I never get the sale. Marketing and sales is hard. So it might be I can't help people, don't know how to help people, or it might be I'm not good enough. If you've got any doubt about your ability to serve, then that will stop you getting the sale. That your client will pick that up. They go, maybe they can't actually help me, so I think I'll go somewhere else. So, and that might be down to your skill, and it might be down to your belief in your skill. So you may have the skill but not believe it, and it might be down to your belief in you, how you're showing up as a person. So if you think you've got any of these beliefs, if your reality is not showing up how you would like it to, then guess what? I've got just the thing for you. We're running a live event, 3rd to the 5th of November, called How to Be a Six-Figure Psychic and Spiritual Leader. I'm going to pop the details in there. And what we're going to do there's 3 really big things that you're going to get. So you're going to get, actually there's 4. Well, if we count lunch, there's 5, because there will be lunch. So not only am I buying you lunch for 3 days. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through Higher Self Therapy Live. People are liking the lunch. And you know what? There'll be biscuits and cake and tea and coffee. No likes for the cake. Okay, come on, like the cake. So 4 things we're going to do. 4 things, big things, or 5 if we count the lunch. So there will be, we're going to do Higher Self Therapy Live. So we're going to find those limiting beliefs and we're going to pull them out. We're going to do a higher self initiation where we bring your higher self into your body. People are liking the cake now. So that's the second big thing. So that's going to bring your higher self into your physical body. It's kind of like an initiation. It's extremely powerful. What that means is you'll have ongoing constant connection to your higher self / holy guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, your soul, your spirit. Your spiritual connection will be vastly increased. So that's the first 2. The third one, not the second one, the third one, because I can count. A PhD in maths, I can't bloody count. Don't know my 7 times tables either. 7 sevens, don't know. So the third one, there we are, 3, is, people are liking that. Third one is I'm going to channel my guides live. Now, in a lot of these posts, people put, have you got a message from the spirit world for me? And can you tell me about this, that, or the other? If you have any questions about, that you'd love my guides, no one guide to answer, then you definitely want to get yourself there. This is my, I don't like to brag, but somebody once said, if you feel like you're bragging, then you're not bragging. So then I'm not bragging, but I'm not bad at channeling. I invoke these highly evolved guides. And what they do is not only do they give you information, they're able to create transformation. So if there's blocks and limiting decisions and stuff going on in your neurology, they can remove that for you, and they can also install it. And they can do this in a way that's I dare I say, it's even beyond higher self therapy. Ideally, you would go through, and that's why we're doing it this way. You're going to go through higher self therapy first, which will get everything that you're conscious of so that the stuff that's underneath can come up, and then No One Guide can tackle that and give you some really extraordinary information and transformation in that channeling session. So those are that's the three things. The fourth thing we're going to do is we're going to give you some rock solid business strategies and techniques so that you can start from where you are, getting out there and generating income. Now, for some of you might go, well, I haven't got any skills yet. Don't worry. That's okay. This information will be invaluable to you no matter where you are in your journey to being a professional spiritual practitioner. And honestly, actually, I'm going to share that for another Facebook Live. So let's see what we got here. If we've got any questions, let me see. So I never say that anymore, says Leslie. I can't afford it. Another negative talk. Just recently done a basic theta healing course. Cool. Learned all about these beliefs. You're so right, Lisa. Yes. Yeah. And by the way, those are just example beliefs. Thank you for sharing that, Leslie. That's good. I hope you enjoyed the theta healing. So one of the things we'll be doing is finding your limiting belief, because it's not about just making a guess that that's the belief. We're actually going to take you through a process and we'll help you to find the deepest root cause limiting belief. There's some exercises we'll do. And in fact, if you're already enrolled and you haven't yet already got into the forum, so my hair's a real mess. I had a hairband in earlier when I was walking the dog and it's made it go all strange. Anyway, enough about my hair. I'll put my hat back on. That's what I'll do. I need to have my-glamouflage hat, there we are, with the butterflies. Leslie, and anyone else who's already registered for Six Figure Psychic, the ideal if you can go through the higher self-therapy process first, and we're gonna get you to go right through it again, and but it's ideal if you've gone through it first. So I think that's it for today. Any other questions? Let me see. Anything else? No. Okay. Alrighty then. Till next time. Oh, yeah. And if you like my video, you can like my video. I'm loving all these little smiles that are coming on. Thank you for that. So till next time, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live on, let me tell you, what am I going to be doing on tomorrow? I'm thinking I might talk about the qualities of a highly evolved being. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? The qualities, I'm just looking at my list of things. I wrote down a little list of things things I'd like to share with you. So the qualities of a highly evolved being. And do you know what I might do before then? I might do something about evolution of the species. Let me know what you're interested in. Evolution of the species first. Awakening of the species. Awakening of the evolution of the species, or highly evolved beings first. We can do them all, but we'll do which one you want first. Okay, so till tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be on about 4:30. If you want to come and catch me there, I'll be on about 4:30. So till then, lots and lots of love, everyone. Bye-bye. Feel free to like my hat. Just click like because you like the hat. It's a glamouflage hat. Can't see me for all the glamour, right? Lots of love. Bye.